So in this video we're talking about medians of triangles, and essentially a median of a triangle is a segment whose endpoints are a vertex of the triangle and the midpoint of the opposite side, which we can see here in this picture. So this blue segment is one of the three medians of a triangle. Again, it goes from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side, and since every triangle has three vertexes, then there's going to be three medians. And the three medians of a triangle are always concurrent, and they always, no matter what type of triangle you have, are always going to be concurrent inside the triangle. And that point of concurrency where the three medians meet up is called the centroid of the triangle. So anytime we're talking about the centroid, we're talking about medians. And the medians of a triangle intersect at a point called the centroid, which is what we just said. And the centroid is always 2/3 of the distance from each vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. So in the picture here, we're told that point P is the centroid of the triangle. That's the point where all the medians of this triangle meet up. And then that means that AP is 2/3 the distance. So AP is 2/3 the distance of the total distance. So again, AP is 2/3 the total distance. Same thing on this side. BP is 2/3 the total distance. And then CP is 2/3 the total distance. Alright, so it's always from the vertex to the centroid. That's 2/3 of the corresponding total distance. And in example 11, we're doing a problem using that information. So point P is our centroid, and we're told that PT is 5. PT is 5. Let's use a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that information into my picture. So PT is 5, and we want to find RT, which we'll do in green. And we also want to find RP, which we'll do in blue. Alright, well first let's look at our rules. So we know that RP, based on the rule we just said, RP is 2/3 the total distance. So which is going to be RT. Well, RT is the segment RP plus PT. So RP equals 2/3 of RP plus PT. Alright, so now what I want to do is I have an equation. RP is what I'm solving for. PT I know. So let's go ahead and plug in what we know. So RP is 2/3 of RP plus 5. And now I have distributive property. Actually, I have distributive property here, which I could do, but instead what I'm going to do is just get rid of my fraction. I'm going to do that in 2 steps. The first step is to always multiply by whatever number is on the bottom. So in this case, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3. Alright, so the 3's are going to cancel out on this side, leaving me with the equation 3 times RP is equal to 2 times parentheses RP plus 5. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do the distributive property because this is a lot easier to take care of instead of doing the distributive property with a fraction. So 3 times RP just falls down equals 2 times RP plus 10. Again, distributive property, both pieces inside, you get that too. Alright, now I want to get my RPs on the same side, so I'm going to say minus 2 RP, minus 2 RP. Alright, so cancel out, so I have 1 RP is equal to 10. Alright, so I can get RP by itself by dividing by 1, which just means RP is equal to 10. Alright, and that's one of the things I was asked to find. So RP was equal to 10, which was the blue length. So the blue length was 10. So I know that RT is the blue length plus the red length, so RT has to be 10 plus 5, which is 15. So again, I just use that rule that we described above. From the vertex to the centroid, it's 2/3 the length of the total median. Okay, so another example. In example 12, we want to find the coordinates of the centroid. Okay, so we know the centroid is the point where the medians meet up. Well, first off, what I need to do is find, so here's a median, right here. And then I'm going to draw the other median, so it goes to the midpoint of the other triangle. Alright, so here's one median. So these two medians match up, so I'm pretty confident that the midpoint of this triangle is going to be straight across. So, because we know that all three medians are concurrent, they all meet in the same spot, that's a rule. So since I was already given two of the medians and they met up at a point, then the third median, which wasn't given to me, has to also meet up at that same point P. So now I can just use my graph to find that coordinate of the centroid. So that coordinate, first off I need to find my x coordinate, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I need to find the y coordinate, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So point P, which is the centroid, which is what I'm asked to find, is at 5, 6. Okay, so it looks like a complicated problem just because it's on the graph, but it actually turned out to be pretty easy. And that's it for this video. As always, if you got questions, let me know.